Morning. Well, good morning.
The fish. The one place to go to if you have Vic, your fish may itch or even flash. So Father Fish is your one-stop capital with an inch of sand. Capital with an inch of sand. Raise the temperature with a helping hand. And add some garlic on top of that sand. The heat will go, your plants will grow, and all of your fish will have a happy home. Father Fish, so Father Fish, your one-stop wonder if you keep fish. Starring Sir Father Fish and all his followers. on the Father Fish channel. Over to you, Sir Father Fish. Hello, Mary. Mary, try and sort this one out. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Instrumental break. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Hey,
I
everybody.
think that one will do.
That'll do just fine. Thank you so much. Leadum. It's Leadum. And he would like nothing better than to lead them into the universe called Leadum. Important news, important news. It's all important news. Important news. Few words. Well, I guess the one really important piece of news is that the Wilcox family is now busy about the business of looking for a new home. And that'll be exciting because once that happens and we can get a ticket, Father Fish is going to England sometime next year. Maybe with company. One never knows. Oh, who's here? Everybody's here. Look at this. Look at this. I'll go back to the beginning. StreamYard is here. D3V. Oh, he says, I started an Instagram for my fish keeping. Says D3V. Well, good job. And he's got a link right at the top. Click on the link, go there and give him a hit. Give him a picture. Give him a something. T-Bone. Hello, T-Bone. Fineline Pleco. Interesting. Fineline Pleco. Well, listen, here's the deal about names. Because they have official Latin names, we talked about this yesterday. The importance of Latin. Latin is important because it's a dead language that nobody speaks. Therefore, it's perfectly appropriate to name everything we can possibly think of with a Latin name. Since nobody knows how to pronounce it, how to spell it, or even what it actually means in common parlance. Because there is no common parlance. in the Latin tongue. Indeed, there is no extant Latin tongue, as it were. So, that being the case, since everything has a Latin name, and none of us know what any of them are, or many of them are, there are a few who know what some of them are. No one knows what many of them are, and and as a result, we name them what we choose to name them. So you can call them whatever you want to call them. And the local shop is welcome to call them whatever they want to call them. There ain't no rules beyond Latin rules. And beyond Latin rules, there are no rules. So you can call them a Fineline Pleco. You can call them a Jagged Line Pleco. You can call them a line Pleco. You can call them anything you want to call them, and that's perfectly legitimate. In point of fact, most or many of the names of fish in the hobby have been named purely for their market impact, market value, if you will. They've been named popular names based on what would sell or what would presumably sell. So name them what you want, guys. It doesn't much matter. Let's see. D3V, we said hello. T-Bone. Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics. Good morning. And these guys were carrying on this morning. Misfit T-Bone D3. Misfit T-Bone D3. Misfit T-Bone D3. It goes on and on. Until Paul C breaks in and says, good morning. Paul C, Misfit D3 T-Bone. The outstanding Lee Wilcox is here and among us. With us once again. The outstanding, indeed he is, the outstanding Lee Wilcox. Patrick Polson. Hi, Patrick. T-Bone D3, T-Bone D3. Patrick. D3 T-Bone. Patrick. David Piper. Good morning, David. Hello to you, T-Bone D3. The outstanding Lee Wilcox. A lot of fish. Yes, sir, Lee. T-Bone. The outstanding Lee Wilcox. Patrick Paulson, T-Bone D3. And it goes on and on and on like this until we get to, GRB Aquatics. Good morning, GRB. Nice to see you. Followed by the outstanding Lee Wilcox. Patrick Polson, T-Bone. Finipper, J. Puddle. Patrick Polson, GRB. Nathan Fishboy, who says, hi, hey, everyone. Hey, John. Hey, GRB. I had that gecko in my hand for ages just before. He's hiding from the wind. T-Bone. The outstanding Lee Wilcox. Followed by Finipper J. Puddle. John Doe. Hi, John. Nice to see you. Nathan Fishboy. All right, here we go. Patrick Paulson. Little content here. I see Lee. I do too. We all do. We see Lee. Hi, Lee. We see you. Oh, You don't have to believe me, but the only God is the God in you. You better act good toward the God, or the devil will take over you. Aha! Little theology here. Aha! Well, couldn't agree more. You got God in you, or you got the devil in you. You can't have both, and you can't have neither. You're going to have one or the other. The either, right? The outstanding Lee Wilcox. If you weigh a whales in a whale station, where do you weigh pies? Somewhere over the rainbow. He was listening to the song. Weigh a pie, John Doe. Dank tanks. Good morning, dank tanks. We're not going to do this all much longer. We're almost through the list. All right. Nathan Fishboy. Going to send him on his way soon. I don't know who that was referring to. Don't really want to know. You weigh them on a WAPO as opposed to a rainbow. A WAPO. Patrick Paulson. Outstanding Lee Wilcox. John Doe, Nathan Fishboy. Aquarium Cop. Good morning, Aquarium Cop. Tally ho to you. John Doe Aquatic Conquest, Nathan Aquatic, and Mary Page at the bottom of the list. And Bill Witt. There's Bill Witt. Hi, Bill Witt. Okay. So that covers the current waterfront. Is up to the second, to the minute, by the nines. We are here among ourselves. And we are who we are. We are what we are. We are where we are. And we are why we are. And we are. Well, Lee's been trying to do this for the last 10 minutes. Shall we give him a break? All right, give him a break. Al Wet Sox. Where is he? There he is. Hi, Al. Nice to see you. All right, I'm going to take a bite of sandwich and let Lee do his thing. Do your thing, Lee. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's get a little link here, and we'll give him a chance to announce his great and fabulous and fundamentally critical news to the universe. Come up here to the universe, Leadham. Shep's Aquatics from Australia. Hello, hello. Gnarly Fish Tanks. Secret History. Hugs and well wishes to the fish fam. I think about fish, therefore I am. Quite so. Quite so. I'll do this link again. Oh. All right. I think that one got trapped. It didn't get chewed very well. It's sort of sitting there, trying to make a decision. Whew. It decided good. Whoosh. Well, now, after all that, we got mayonnaise on my sandwich this morning. We did Burger King this morning. I've been doing biscuits at Mickey D's, and I tell you, I'm getting tired of them. They're crusty. I don't know what they do to their biscuits, but they come out hard. I've sent one back. Told them I couldn't chew it. It was too hard. They gave me another one that wasn't a bit better. So I did Burger King this morning because I was putting money in the bank and had to go the other way. And it's pretty good. I got ham. They're 2 for $4. Check that out. 2 for $4. This is a crust sandwich. And the other one, wrapped up as a biscuit. And this is sausage, egg, cheese, and mayonnaise on a biscuit. This is ham, egg, cheese, and mayonnaise on a croissant. And it's pretty good. What was that? Oh no. All right, what's going on here? We got all this important information, and I ain't getting none of it. Can't do it while everyone is watching and typing. I'll tell you what, Lee. We'll set aside 10 minutes for you at 10 o'clock this morning. Okay? We'll sign off. Everybody will be gone. Won't be anybody around to distract you or to in any way influence you or to in any way step on your toes or dare to make a comment while you're talking. You'll have the entire stream to your absolute self, all by yourself, alone, for as long as you want, until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. How's that? Well, maybe 7:45. All night long, all day and all night, and all day. And you can say what you want to say and do what you want to do, and it'll all be there, somewhere in the air, flying through the air. Uh-oh. Well, at the end of that, dropped the sandwich on the floor. I had that coming, didn't I? I can't see this morning. My eyes are blurry. All right. We are getting nowhere. Who we do? Keith Hanshaw. Good morning, Keith Hanshaw. Finnell. Good morning, Finnell. Where and what is Finnell? Don't see no Finnell. Billy Dog. Hi, Billy Dog. I don't see no Finnell. Don't know. GRB Aquatics. Keith Henshaw. Morning Finnell. Keith Henshaw. Finally awake for live. Oh, good. Yes. Nice to see you. Good to have you with us, Keith. Finally. Got it. Thank you. Finally. Mary Page, GRB. What's GRB say? Talking to Alex. By the way, Mary, that was outstanding yesterday. I just hope that only good comes of it, and you guys don't have 500 people in Kentucky looking for your honey hole. That would be sad. Not that they're likely to find it. I think you're pretty well disguised, hidden, and tucked away down there. For that beautiful spot to have gone that long undiscovered and undug, speaks volumes to its isolation. But that was amazing. Now, I've watched a lot of the Ginseng Pirates, the series, and they seem to make a whole lot more than $200 a pound for their ginseng. So is that West Virginia prices or something? I mean, what is that? I don't quite get what that's all about. I did hear you say that one must be licensed to buy it, so I assume that there's a fair market price. And I will certainly admit that $200 a pound is a pretty good price. I don't know how long it takes to get a pound. I kind of figured it out yesterday, about 4 roots to the ounce. So that would be about 50 roots to a pound, average size roots. Some of those big guys would go a little more. They might be 15 to 20 of those to a pound. So, and a pound at $200, and what would it take? It would take a couple of hours minimum. That's if you were in a honey hole. To dig up 50 takes a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes to do one. You probably in a good spot could do 10 in an hour. So that's, well, you guys were doing more, but there were 2 of you digging. So that's a lot of work. That's like 5 hours for $200. That's $40 an hour. Not bad pay, but a lot of work and a lot of on your knees work. Look, I'll tell you though, when your, what was it, your son-in-law, whatever he is, said that when you get out there and dig your first one, it gets into your blood. It sounded like somebody who's addicted to gold, who goes out and finds gold and then, that spends the rest of their life digging for gold. It's the kind of thing it is, I guess. You find something out in the world that nobody else lays claim to, that's of enormous value, and you find it and you hold it and you have it and you secure it and it's yours, and you look at it and you want more. It's like aquatic conquest. More. What is it? More? Is that what he says? More. Neat stuff. That was just absolutely wonderful. We love you too, Mary Page. All right, so we've stopped typing here now, I guess, for a minute. It doesn't last forever, Lee. You gotta jump in there when you get a break, or it's gone. That's when the shotguns would come out. Yeah, I guess. My son's mom isn't very friendly. Aha. Well, that'll help enormously. Who is this? Finiver J. Puddle. I've been researching diatoms and other microorganisms that can create calcium carbonate from atmospheric CO2. Perhaps that is why Patrick. So backing up to Patrick, who says, I like Popeyes more than KFC, but Bet's Fried Chicken is the family-owned places in Memphis. Yeah, I prefer Popeyes to KFC. But I got to agree. Gnarly Fish, Miles. What? Chubs? Well, I missed a bunch here. Let's see. How did I miss all this? Fish Whisperer. Good morning, Fish Whisperer. Hi there. Jeffrey Watts. Hello, Jeffrey. All right, here we go. Patrick Paulson. They also get rainwater, but after several months, the pH goes up over 8. And KH, carbonated hardness, also goes up over 20, even more than my tap water, which is pH 7.5 with a KH of 15. Pretty low. All right. Fish Whisperer is here among us. Hi there. Maybe you can straighten out what's going on. I can't figure any of it out. I think
What's happening?
Hey, Fish Whisperer.
How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Looking at your fish tank, we're getting a little bit of feedback. Yep. Not much.
What's happening, man?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out this this text this morning, and I'm kind of lost. Okay, Patrick calls. Father Fish, I do not understand this. Please clear this for me. I have 90-liter tubs outside, and I drop all my plant cuttings in them, and I drop old tank water in them, and they also get rainwater. But after several months, the pH goes up over 8, and the KH also goes up over 20. That is odd. That is odd. Now, somebody made a comment about this. Was it Miles? Lee says you're doing it wrong. That's one answer. Let's see.
How's it going?
I
Mary
don't
Page
see.
and John Doe. Yo, J Dog 67. What happened to my peppers, man?
Oh, all right.
Chip,
So Fitbit J Puddle.
Fusion.
Fitbit J Puddle says, I've been researching diatoms and other microorganisms that create calcium carbonate from atmospheric CO2. That's a really interesting answer. And what I really consider, but it's certainly viable that that it's happening biologically. Who's on the phone here? Leonard, my roommate. Hey, Leonard. How are you?
Dorman.
Oh, my TV is on. Oh dear. It's yeah. Let me. I'm just trying to think what you can do. Let's see. On the keyboard, the top left-hand button, all the way at the very top, it says ESC. Huh? No, it's not that one. It's you closed it. Yeah, that doesn't help. Yeah, all the way at the top, ESC. You see that button on the keyboard, on the computer.
All on the left side.
On the computer, all the way at the top, on the left. On the keyboard.
Left.
Where all the buttons are. Yes. You open that back up, right? Okay. Now look at all those little keys. The top one on the left. Push that. Push that.
I'm on my phone.
Didn't do anything?
I'm on my phone.
That's right. Yes. The little button. Right.
We got a cop in the house.
Something happened.
Ooh.
All right. We need help, guys. My computer at home is on I started up the stream and it's on and it's really loud. And Leonard is there and it's disturbing him enormously. And he doesn't know anything at
The
all.
stream is loud.
Can you turn the
Lower
monitor
sound.
off?
He needs to shut it
Turn-
off. So what
Can
can
you
I tell him to do to shut it off?
Unplug it.
That won't help. It's battery backup. It'll go for hours.
Oh. Can he just close it?
No, it doesn't go off if he closes it.
What happened?
Just hold the power button down. Let it turn off.
The power button. There.
Yeah. Or Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that he'll never figure that out. The escape button doesn't work, does it?
Beautiful thing.
Let's see. Volume. How can you control? You can't do anything without knowing how to use a mouse. How do you shut it off? Come on, guys.
Should be able to just hold the power button.
Well, if you knew where the power button was, I don't remember where the power
it-
button is. Top
Should
right.
be on left side. Should be on left side.
It's on the
Left
left.
side. It's a laptop. Should be left side. Or right
Top
side.
right.
Yeah,
Is it
either
a
top
laptop
right
or
or
a
top.
computer?
Top
Right,
right.
here. Look. Boom.
Leonard. They're on the right-hand side of that keyboard. The top
is it-
right button.
Is the
Should have a circle
Is-
with a line through it.
Circle with a light all the way at the top.
is it plugged in though?
Push
Is
that
it plugged
button
into
and
the
hold it
wall?
down.
No, if it wasn't plugged in, it won't work.
Shove it under Father Fish's mattress.
Nothing's happening. Little tent. It has a light behind it. Has a light
It
on
might
it.
not be charged. If there's no light on,
That's got a light that's kind of lit in the back. And press
okay.
that. That's the power button.
What's up, Alex? Want to say hi?
Yeah, hi. How's it going?
Jeez.
How's it going?
Good.
How's it going, Rajon?
Well, you can pull the
life?
plug.
Miles,
It's on a battery backup. It's going
Miles,
to
you
take
haven't slept since
to go
Saturday,
off.
and you got to work today and change saltwater
Yeah, I haven't
tanks. Why are you awake right now?
since
You can pull the
since,
plug on the side of it. You
Saturday.
don't know which one that is either. Pull the
Boy.
plug
Since
out of the
Saturday,
wall.
and you got to work today and change saltwater tanks. Like, why are you awake right now, dude?
Because if I gotta go work at 11 o'clock.
There's a volume button if you knew how to use that, but you don't. And it's not on the
If I
keyboard.
don't
Yeah,
go to
exactly. And you've been up since Saturday, so why are you awake right now?
work, like how am I awake right now?
Just pull the plug. Pull the plug.
Pull the
Why?
plug.
Why are you awake right now?
Close the door. I will come over at 10 o'clock.
It's
Because
8:30,
if I would have fell
10:30.
asleep,
You got 2.5 hours to
If I
sleep
would-
before you go to work. Go to bed, dude. You've been up since Saturday.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Thank
Yo.
you.
I understand
Alright.
where you're coming
That's
from,
weird.
but if I fall asleep, my body's
can't
not gonna wake up.
Okay, so I have an answer
Once
possibly
the eyes close,
to
I go
the
into a deep sleep.
hardness question
and
about
Yes.
the water in the pond. That's
Go.
why I hopped up. So,
Okay.
do they live anywhere near the
You
ocean?
can watch the afterplay, bro. Get some sleep.
Go ahead, Alex.
Do they live anywhere near the ocean? Because
Get some
salt water
food,
in the air can easily do it. I live about 4 miles from salt water, and that will happen in mine when we get
Yeah, that's
fog.
true. I don't know. Is that a possibility? I've even lost track of who was talking about this.
Let's see.
I was just. I'm not going to do that again. Man, Chubbs. Who was it? Yeah,
Mary Page, you're so sweet.
indeed she is.
And hello to everyone who said hello this morning, obviously. Of course.
Hello, dude. Alex. Hello,
Yeah.
Alex.
Let's see. We got somebody else trying to get up here. John Doe. There he is.
Hey, I'm in the show.
Hi, John.
What's up, everybody? Good morning,
We
guys.
like to change.
How are y'all?
Yo,
Well,
Miles, I definitely passed out on Griffin last night.
Yeah, man, I wish I would have done the same thing.
oh dear. Cynthia Ponce is saying, Father Fish, I've done my so-called aquascaping and it's ugly. What can I do? Well, that's that. I'll tell you what, Cynthia. What you need to do is realize
Check
your
this out. Check this
your
out. Look at
aesthetic
the weather out here.
sensibilities are greater than your technical skills. So you work
Yeah.
on your technical skills. Pull it
I
all
don't
out,
do
do it again,
that.
and keep doing it until you begin to get a feeling for what works. Misfit
Sure.
Reptiles and Aquatics. Thank you so much, Misfit. In the midst of this chaos, we appreciate your support. Thank you very much. And what is this?
This is
That should
tank.
be. What is going on here? This is aquarium cop. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
This has taken over the fantastic Lee Wilcox logo. Or
Oh,
rather,
it's
Nick.
getting crazy over here.
That's funny. That's funny. Fish Whisper, Miles. What are we looking
Yeah.
at?
We're
Where
looking
are
at the
you?
weather,
Like
man, in Florida, man. Down
Where,
here
you're
in North
Florida?
Miami.
Where
North
are you
Miami
in
Beach. North Miami
Florida?
Beach. North Miami Beach. It's like a hurricane outside right now.
Oh, wow.
I gotta go to work in this crap.
You're up on the panhandle?
Nah, man, I'm down south in Miami area. Look at this.
You're in Orlando?
Lovely weather we're having
He
today.
said he's in
Today's
Miami.
forecast, we're gonna be having some rain, and then some more rain, and more rain.
Fish Whisper, I can't understand a word you're saying.
My bad. It's very windy out there.
I cannot understand one single word you're saying.
Oh.
Not one.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes.
All right. I'm in North Miami Beach area, but look at the weather.
Yeah, it's pretty
lovely.
overcast.
It's storming over here.
That's North Miami?
Yeah, it's this 163rd Street area.
Oh, I see. Oh. Yeah, it's clear over here on the east on the west coast.
Not over here, man. Look at the pepper garden.
Wow. Wow.
Look at the pepper garden, man. I got the pepper garden over there.
Very nice.
We might get a little wet.
All right, guys. I totally lost track of this stream.
Oh.
I need to drop everybody off and get back in control. I'm sorry. I got totally thrown off here. I'll catch up with you all later. Thanks,
It's storming
everybody.
out there, man.
Sit tight a bit, guys. Thank you, John. I'll get back to you. All right. Leonard really threw me off. I opened up the stream this morning or last night on my home computer, and it came online from here. And the volume's turned all the way up, and Leonard my roommate doesn't know a thing about it. So it's blasting all through the house. He can't control it. He hadn't been able to figure out how to turn it off. So at 10 o'clock, when we're finished here, I got to go over there and turn off the computer. And I won't do that again. So in the meantime, I got a bunch of people on here. Everybody came up. It got totally chaotic. And I'm sorry, I just had to shut it all down so I could get a little control over what's going on. All right. Let me back up a little bit and see if I can catch up to this stream. Misfit, Reptile and Aquarium. Thank you very much for your super chat. We're having a chaotic morning, but you're going to make it better. Help us focus in. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, closing it doesn't shut it off is the problem. Chubs. Mary Page is saying, Cynthia, it's probably beautiful. But I know what you mean, Cynthia. I've done that myself over and over again. I still do it. I get things up, spend time on them, and I don't like them at all because I've got a higher sense of aesthetic proportion in my mind's eye that I'm able to achieve with my hands, with my skill. And frankly, it's just a matter of continuing to work at it. The more you do, the better you'll get. And the more you'll be able to really achieve what you're seeing in your mind's eye, what you want to be able to achieve. So don't feel bad about that. Feel good about that. That's true of every artist. Every single artist has exactly the same issue. So just be disciplined, hang in there, keep working at it. You will get to a place where what you will find is even though you see fault in what you've done, people looking at it will show increasing admiration for the beauty of what you've achieved. And that's really where you begin to see objectively what your skills really are when you can see your product, the results of your effort through someone else's eyes. So hang in there and keep working at it. It'll get there. It will get there. But really do feel good about the fact that you don't like what you've done. All that means is you can do better. And you will do better. In your own eyes, you'll do better. I mean, it could be magnificent. It could be trash. I mean, that's always possible. It could be just utter trash. But it could be something really spectacular to a person looking at it for the first time. They could see perhaps what you are trying to achieve and see that vision even more clearly than you can see it. That happens too. And that's what's really interesting. It's when you begin getting into this thing, you're trying to create an image of a vision, or rather the practical application of a vision. You're trying to implement a vision, and you do some things that kind of do it structurally and basically. Someone else looks at it and they get it instantly. They know exactly what you're trying to achieve. You've actually done it. You just haven't done it to the level of your own perfection. And so you're dissatisfied with it, but you've successfully achieved exactly what you were setting out to achieve. You've been able to portray that vision. Again, aesthetic sensibilities and the practical application of artistic effort. It's magical, my dear. It is magical. And the more you stick with it, the more you love it, the more you enjoy it, and the more pleasure and satisfaction and joy you give to others. So hang in there, Cynthia. You're a very lovely young woman. and I'm sure your work will reflect what you are wanting to achieve. Let's see. What else is here? Misfit. Misfit, thank you. Just great. GRB's in North Miami Beach. Ali Sean. Where'd that go? Secret, Alex is saying, Cynthia, you should join my next aquascaping contest. It was full of us folks who feel that way. Maybe checking out that video on my channel from 2 days ago. I watched that and it was really inspirational, Alex. I was just so impressed. And what it really demonstrates is the effort that all of us are putting into these little glass boxes we've got. It showed tremendous effort and a lot of skill and a lot of just really beautiful, beautiful stuff. I mean, just amazingly effective tanks. It was very, very impressive. Aquatic Conquest has been able to portray the aquariums of a lot of the folks who are on here routinely, who sent him little video clips for the videos that he's doing for us, and it's just really amazing how beautiful those tanks are. Just so impressive. We do better than we think we do. And Cynthia, I will bet you that if you show some pictures, some videos of what you've done, what you have done, what you've achieved, you're going to be amazed at how many people will absolutely adore it. So don't lose heart, and do, don't be afraid to show what you've done. I think that's the biggest mistake that artists make. They're not happy with it, and so they don't want anyone to see it. And that really is a big mistake. Because when an artist begins to create, the very first thing that artist does is create the structure of their vision. And that alone communicates the vision. So someone looking at it just in its most rudimentary and crude stage is already projecting the vision of the artist. So don't be afraid to do that. You can always refine what you've done, but put that first effort out there and give folks a chance to look at it and comment on it. You're rarely going to get someone saying, oh my God, that's dreadful. That is dreadful. And if you do, then you will know to never share with that person again, because they don't have the aesthetic sensibilities you do. They're too far down the ladder, too far behind you to make their comments even worthy of recognition. So get it out there and let's see what you're doing. Oh my, yes, Cynthia, by all means, join Alex's Secret History. Follow him and check out that video. It really is. It'll give you great heart. It really will, because you'll be able to see what other people are achieving, who are maybe on the same level as you, maybe above or maybe behind you a little. But it'll help you to be able to share without being intimidated by by the lack of your technical skills. That's all it is. just technical skills. You develop them, you learn them. They come along. Alex is saying, as an artist of 20 years, 15 for a living, I can say I'm never satisfied with my work until I say I'm finished. Force myself to stop and wait 5 years to look back at something. Yeah, you're not done until you're done. You're not done with it until you say I'm fed up with this, and you put it aside, and then you're done with it. You're never done. It's never perfect. You never achieve perfection. Ben, hello, Ben. Let's see. Yeah, Lisa is saying your worst critic of your work is yourself. Amen. Aquatic Conquest. Hello, hello. How was your weekend? Nice to see you back. And thank you for that beautiful, beautiful piece. We played it over and over all weekend long. Just wonderful. You made a comment about a poem, and I misread it at the time and then couldn't figure out what you were talking about later. By then, you had left for a holiday. Let me know what you were talking about. The only thing I could figure out was the pictures, the photos at the end of that video, which was so well done with the Sound of Music track. It was just really quite lovely. Who is this? Aquarium Cop. Love you, Alex. Get on the panel with Father Fish. So here he is, Aquarium Cop. Whoops. We got Cynthia. What is she saying? I put so many plants, looks like a jungle. Ordered so many plants. Didn't ever realize I get so many freebies. I was bombarded with the plants, even though they were small. Well, there's nothing wrong with the jungle. I'm sure it's gorgeous. Send us a picture, Cynthia. We'd love to have a picture. Aquarium Cop, thank you so much. Let's see. Let me get the link back up here. Whoosh. Let's see. Lee, Apple are great at this. Oh, the liver crap sell a new one with new crap. They sell a new one with upgraded. Blah blah blah. He's on with Apple. Right. True enough. I bought an Apple. About a year ago. I've been on Microsoft for 30 years, at least 30 years. Bought an Apple, and I kept it for about 2 weeks. I bought it from Costco. Paid $2,000 for it. I couldn't do on it very basic things that I'm used to doing routinely. Now, maybe it's magnificent, but I found it frustrating and difficult to work with. And I assumed that was simply because I was used to something totally different. So I took it back and I got another one. And I wound up getting this Best Buy single screen thing. It's like a 24-inch screen that has a computer built in from Best Buy. And boy, I love it. It's got a wireless keypad and a wireless mouse. And it's got a beautiful picture. It's big. The whole computer and everything sits. I can't show it because it can't look at itself. Actually, it can. Here it is. Look at that. There it is. My new computer. I love it. And it's a touch screen, which gets me in trouble every day. Like every time I touch it. I don't know anything about how to use a touch screen. Anyway. Oh, yeah, Lee's going on about cut the plants back. Yeah, right. Lee's good at cutting plants back. That's what he does. That's what he does best. He cuts plants. Aquarium Cop, thank you so much. We love you too. Absolutely. Mary Page, you have to remember, Cynthia, when they're growing, it'll look different. I've had to change mine around a couple of times. It's a learning process. If it looks like a jungle, it's something I would absolutely love. I love jungle. Oh, look up, hey, Cynthia, look up the Dutch system, Dutch planted tanks. Get a sense for what that is, and that might totally change your head around about what you've got and what you're doing. A Dutch, a Dutch tank has groups of plants, the same kind of plant, growing in a group, and it staggers the groups by color, by texture, by size, so that it creates a sculpture based on different kinds of plants growing basically in clumps. It's a fascinating German system. No hardscape, just plants. It's called the Dutch system or a Dutch planted aquarium. Check it out. I think you might really love it. Lisa says we all have a jungle tank. Oh, let's see. Alex, you got so much to offer. I deeply appreciate you and everything you do. You got a great channel, a great attitude. You're an artist, and you're in depth. I think so often I'm not in depth that I kind of scoot along the surface. I've got a lot of surface knowledge and not a lot of depth. There's certain things where I go down. It's like you'll have I'm in oil field. My knowledge is an oil field. There's an oil slick on the surface, and every once in a while you find a drill that goes down 1,000 feet, and then another one a half a mile over. It's my mind's like that. It's got all these probes that are staggered from each other. So there's no effective depth. It's all pretty shallow. But every once in a while, you fall into a hole that'll go down to your toes. There's an interesting image. Oh, dear. Let's see. The jungle tanks tribe, says Lisa. Yeah, amen. Absolutely. Mary Page. My first experience. What is the wait? Let me back up a little. Hat Trick. Good morning, Hat Trick. Yeah, Alex is agreeing that Dutch gardens or Iwagumi method may inspire Cynthia. I think it may well. And Lee's saying, what about me? What about you, Lee? What about you? What about you, Lee? What about you? What shall we do? What shall we do with Lee? What shall we do? What shall we do with Lee? What shall we do? What shall we do with Lee? I'm not going to do it. I was going to do it, but I'm not. Oh, let's see. Mary Page. My dream a computer. I never owned one. You're going to get one soon. Lisa, love you, Father Fish. Well, I don't know. But Lee Wilcox is talking about Lewis Rossman. Aquatic Conquest. I will post it and you can pause it at point of poem. I wanted to wrap it, but alas, I don't have Lee's bold approach. But if anybody would like to volunteer, let me know. You're going to post it on your channel? There was Aquatic Conquest. GRB, Cynthia, so many plants must thrive in the Philippines. Can you include some of the excess plants with your students? Many useful learnings from aquariums. Now that's interesting. Cynthia, are you doing anything with your students relative to your interest in aquarium? Fascinating point, GRB. I like it. Okay, I've gone back as far as I care to go back. Don't know about Louis Rossman. Oh, coming forward now. Hat Trick, good morning. Peplin Creek, good morning. This is the video with poem. Paused it at 3 seconds. Aquatic Conquest. I don't have a link. Where's the link? Cynthia. Cynthia says, I will, Father Fish. Then I'm going to be sad because my tank is full of baby plants. Mary Page, absolutely, Alex. My first experience was just getting the plants to grow and getting used to my water. And whatever survived, I was able to do stuff with. Trial by error. Cynthia. I was aiming at the Iwagumi style. Ended up with just tanks of plants. It'll get there. It'll get there. It's tricky to do. It's very, I find Iwagumi, the Dutch system, incredibly difficult to do. You've got to have so many skills to be able to do that. And the first one is to get a bunch of plants growing together in a group, to get a monoculture of plants growing in a group. That's enormously difficult to achieve. And to be able to do that with many different groups is a really amazing skill. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to have to go over to YouTube to pick up the stream. To get the link. I can't do links on StreamYard. All right, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to get this link. We're going to do this. I can't find this silly link now. I'm having a lot of trouble today. Aquarium Cop. There's Secret Histories link. Yeah. It's on that video at the start. Okay, here we go. I got the link. I got it up. Now I got to get it on here. Must be Father Fish. No, what is it? It's got to be this. Hi, Betsy.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, all right. I did see this, and you know what? It didn't read it. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to read this. I'm going to put the volume on. And then we're going to go back. Let me go back and pause it. I wake up yawning. My alarm is calling notification. It's Father Fish in the morning. So grab a chair, sit back and relax, and learn some interesting fish facts. And you'll never know who may just turn up. Sometimes it's planned. Sometimes it's luck. And I can only think of two words that rhyme with that, and one of them is duck. Luck, nuck, suck, quack, ruck, muck, puck, tuck, buck. And on it goes. And one of them is, yeah, we did that. So I did read this. Back to Father Fish. Without any further delay, and let's talk topics and what you can expect today. That's cute. That's cute. I like it. I did read that. Had a little trouble with your duck, but we got past it. Well, yeah, that's it's a great effort, Aquatic Conquest. A great and powerful effort. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's give it to Lee and let Lee run with it and see what he can do. Aquatic Conquest thinks Lee's ability. Someone else was talking about doing a rap. I can't remember who it was. It was a while back. Who was it? I don't know. Anyway, whoever it was, take a look at this and see if you can adapt it to a rap. Needs a little work. It's not bad. It's kind of nice. All right. All right. So we're moving along here. Moving along. Psychedelic Hippocampus is with us. Lurking, getting ready for work. Gonna have to leave in a minute. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think Lee's off his meds. Did you take your pill today, Lee? Did you take your pill? Ah. Oh, look at this. Lee Wilcox. This is great. My ears picked up. My tail is wagging furiously. Exactly. 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 They Rhett at the Massey Report. Rhett's with us. Mary Page, will you do a tour of the store? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I've got some new fish I wanted to show off, and that would be a good way to do it. Let me just do a tour. We'll go around and take a look at everything. I got a bunch of new stuff that'd be fun to look at. I'll do that today, and I'll get that up. That'll be fun. Everybody likes tours. They always do well. I will do that. The jester, Jeffrey Watts says, yes, he is indeed. He is indeed. Not your fault. Actually, it is. Well, we let you get away with stuff. The outstanding Lee Wilcox has a link. Do I dare? Let's see. A short 25-minute video before the stew, after Sue told me to do what Sir Father Fish told me to do, then and at the store. Oh, neat. Then home acclimation, then releasing what I was told to. Oh, very cool. I'll be real excited to watch that. Yeah, Lee wound up with a lot of algae on his system. Here's Graham Kopp is back saying, Alex, I was looking forward to you. And he didn't want to come on. I know. Alex is such a shy guy. Such a shy guy he is. Mary Page, I squish it up every day and see what floats to the top. That's an interesting discipline. Oh, she's talking about duckweed. Right, whatever floats to the top. Leah's like a lapdog, needs all your attention and rewards with unconditional love, brings joy and fun into your life. There you go. Psychedelic hippocampus. Didn't know you had it in you. Utter genius. Absolute genius. You have nailed it. Nailed it, psychedelic. That is brilliant. As I'm sure Lee Dum agrees. And he already commented on that by saying that his ears are up and his tail is wagging. Quite so. What do you think? What do you think, Aquarium Cop, about all this madness this morning? It's a great stream.
Father Fish.
Yes.
What people got to realize is you got a giving, open heart, and sometimes people are having a bad day, and they should realize they should sit it out. They shouldn't come up on your stream and disrupt it and confuse you and make you feel bad.
Well,
I timed Miles out for 300 minutes. I know he's having a bad week. He hasn't slept in 3 days. But when people come up, you got to respect the show.
Yeah, true enough. I appreciate that. I do.
I got your back, brother.
All right. Well, you got it.
Everybody should understand, we're not mean people. Like, it's got to fit the show.
Yeah. Guess who's
And the show is the show, and it's fun. There's all about love. Hey, listen, somebody's tired. You know what? Sit it out.
Right.
Hello, Aquarium Cop.
Look at
that. Alex. I've been following you since, 2017.
Yeah, I know. How are you doing this morning? And thank you, by the way.
I couldn't stand the fact a couple times that things happen to you and you get all those trolls that were like, blah, blah, blah. Then you had to show your medical records and all that stuff.
Yeah, when I got hit by lightning.
It almost runs off to why I'm trying to protect Father Fish, because I know people can just mess things up in a second.
Yeah. Well, that was funny because I mean, I got hit by lightning. I barely believed it, but the local news did stories on me and stuff, so it was pretty easy to prove.
I know it was all true.
But
I even donated to your GoFundMe.
That's right. Thank you again. It actually really did impact my short-term memory. So I have to really consciously learn now. And actually it's been hard, but it's been good because I sit down and I learn things twice before I'll remember them. I'll read it and then I'll look at a visual version and then I've kind of got it. But I forget things like the calendar, those kind of things. Like if someone says, let's meet up on Wednesday, I can't remember that kind of stuff. So I have to keep lots of notes.
One of the things that I loved about you, Alex, since the beginning was you had that ability. See, I was not born with that ability. Now, unfortunately, you got hit by lightning, and now you're like me.
Yeah. Well, such is life. But I think that when we're talking here about Cynthia's aquascape and everything, I can't agree with Father Fish more on just that the notion that beauty is really in the eye of the beholder, but then there's skill in keeping things alive. That's a separate thing. And once you've got the skill to keep things alive, it's all about what you like as your style, and what you're going for. So
that's totally cool.
I've got a couple videos on Iwagumi style if she's interested, on the golden ratio, another one on the rule of thirds, you know, kind of basics of there's the Greek aesthetic that the Western society uses, you know, as a whole, of, you know, balance, and that can, ironically, balance can mean everything's on one side of the picture, but the emptiness, you know, it goes proportionally towards the side with things on it, you know. So that's like a triangular aquascape or something like that. So
When I was in college, I did a series of, I majored in philosophy and literature at a double major.
It all makes sense now.
But, yeah, but my minor was in art, and I did art courses as a philosophy major. We had a fellow head of the art department who set up a class, a series of classes for philosophy majors. None of us had any artistic ability, but we all had a fascination with it. So we learned a lot about art, and I took courses like um, some of the there. There's some made on a graduate level. I studied religious art under some people who wrote the books on religious art. So I've had that kind of a theoretical artistic background without ever developing any particular artistic skills. I've always wished I had them. When I was little, I started to develop them, and somehow was, I guess I was never encouraged to do it. And then I picked up musical instruments, and I was never any good at that. Played a lot, never any good at it. So I never developed any kind of artistic skills to speak of, but always admired it and cherished it, and appreciated the effort of those who could spend their whole lives in discipline to their art.
Yeah, you know, I never took art classes until about 21 years old. I took a pop art class and then an art history and art theory class at the end of college, I guess, just as credits I needed. And oh, we're getting some weird feedback, I think.
It's aquarium cop.
But in any case, so I think that the you know, I always did art on the side, and then in 2008 was really the year that I guess I decided it was going to be a full-time job, because the economy was doing so poorly, and I had a degree in archaeology, which was next to useless at the time. And so it really just took there not being any other options for me to get into art, and I started by painting a mural for fun on a neighbor's thing, and then doing tattoos, and then people asked about the mural, and then I got into graphic design, and on and on and on. But you just have to do it, and, you know, take chances, and it's the same with fish keeping. I think a lot of times people get scared, or they read almost too much about things online, or, you know, they want to add too many things, and sometimes you just go one element at a time, and just get into it, and it's, you know, it'll work out.
Yeah,
Or it won't.
I never really gave serious consideration to the Dutch planted system. I've always liked it, but I never really thought about it seriously until I began to try to create it, and realized how intrepidly difficult it is.
Yeah.
Astoundingly difficult to do that.
Well, the underbrush is really hard to maintain. I mean, you can cut the tops once you get the basics of taking care of plants. You can cut the tops and keep things kind of in check, but once it's like 6 months old or so, you've got kind of a leggy undergrowth a lot of times.
Exactly. Right.
And it's very hard to manage that. So, but you know, that was long before Takashi Amano and the modern aquascaping, that Dutch aquascaping was huge in the Czech Republic, or I guess back in the day, Czechoslovakia, in the 1920s and 30s, before fish keeping
Did it
was.
start in Germany? Do you know?
I think it did start in Germany, and then it also started. I mean, Netherlands, Germany, and then Prague was another big city where in the 20s, futurism was really popular, and then Art Deco was kind of picking up, and so that move from the Victorian kind of gilded aquariums and look into the more simple, Euro brace or Euro frame type thing, and kind of simple, clean lines, then made like the tank contained all the organic lines and curves and things, whereas the aquarium itself was supposed to be sterile and simple. And so I think the Germans had Bauhaus in the 30s that was the movement that encouraged that, and then later it was the Art Deco movement kind of that encouraged literally the actual aquarium and stand, and then the inside of it was a kind of an Art Nouveau look back at the floral and organic side of things. So kind of interesting. And you can also.
Do you know Tommy Denda? Do you know who that is? Okay. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with the fact that he's been translating a book?
Yes, and you're reading it on Patreon, right?
Well, I haven't done it yet. I haven't started it yet.
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, I am wondering if there's I need to talk to him about it. See if there's a chapter in that book. It's a big, thick book. It's like a couple of 100 pages, written by a Dutch botanist in the 1860s on aquariums.
Oh, wow.
I'm
that's
wondering
early.
if there's a chapter in it on plant. There's a lot of information on plants.
Yeah. Well, I mean, topiaries and vivariums, ripariums, terrariums were huge in the mid 1800s in the rich circles and aristocratic circles. And then it was, I think, around the turn of the 20th century that you started to see the average person starting to get access to books and magazines that kind of showed them how to do it at home,
Right. Let's see.
Yeah, what's the chat?
Yeah, I'm looking.
What's the chat?
Somebody, Lee, talking about pontificating on fashion and architecture. Meaningless drivel, Lee. Meaningless drivel. Aquarium cop. Everyone who agrees this is an awesome stream. Two amazing fish keepers doing a back and forth. Well, that's fun.
Well, that's very kind. I mean, it's your show, Father Fish, so I always end up staying up so late that I'm up in the morning still when your show comes on. And so, especially since I hurt my ribs, like I just can't sleep. So it's for me, this has been very therapeutic to be able to join in the community and not be asleep at this time, So.
Yeah, really. Let's see. Sharpies Model and Aquatics is here. Hello, Sharpies.
So, Father Fish, did you start selling plants right away when you opened your shop?
Yeah, I did. And I'm trying to remember what brought that on. Well, let's see. I opened my shop after about 10 years of having a 100-tank fish room in my house, where I was on aquabed extensively.
Were you married?
No, I was single and I was supporting myself. That was my sole income for about 5 years.
Oh, that's impressive. Yeah.
on Aquabid. But I never sold plants there. I mostly sold bettas. We lost you, Alec. There he is. I
So yeah, it's
sold
dark
bettas.
here. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That was before, right as crown tails were coming in, and before all the other fancy stuff. In fact, it was really before there was any attempt to grade bettas. So I was finding stuff. I would go up to the wholesaler, and they would get 50,000. Honest to God,
Yeah.
50,000 bettas. 50,000 bettas. That takes up the entire body of a 16-foot panel truck,
Wow.
25-foot panel truck. The whole bed of a truck, floor to ceiling. And I would go through those until I pulled out a couple of dozen fish that I really, really liked. And I would take them back, feed them up. I was feeding beef heart at the time.
Yeah.
Feed them up with beef heart in very tiny amounts, because if you overfeed them, it kills them. So
Yeah, they get too much
really
protein.
careful. Yeah, and it fouls the water real easy.
Yeah.
Feed them up, and then I put them in this little narrow glass aquarium I built with a camera in front of it and lights over it, and I would take pictures. Actually, it was a video cam. I did stream. I would put it up on my computer and pull off the perfect frame. Then I would enhance that frame, give the fish a name like
Ah.
the American Beauty. That
Yeah.
was one of my favorite names. Give it a name, post it on Aquabid, and put it up for auction. I had one that I found. It was a very early koi, one of the very first koi that came out accidentally.
Sure.
It was
Yeah.
a magnificent three-colored, beautiful male crown tail. It sold at Aquabid for $241.
Wow.
I shipped
Wow.
it that day. I was going to breed it. I figured, no, for that kind of money, this fish is out of my hands. So I shipped it to somebody in Seattle, of all places.
Hey, I know that place.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. She had a lot of bettas. But that's what I was doing. I sold hundreds and hundreds of bettas. I was
Wow.
under a BABA, ABABA. I've got like
I remember you. Yeah.
really
Yeah. Yep.
a long time ago.
I had the name SOMA Aquatics. Soma Aquatics.
Right, I remember. Wow.
Yeah. So I used to sell a lot of guppies, platinum and purple snakeskin and cobra guppies is what I was selling for a while.
Oh, and I bought some and I loved them.
Yeah, they were really pretty. And
You can't get nice guppies anymore. It's just really hard to get nice guppies.
yeah, Indonesia, Vietnam of all places is starting to kind of come out with some interesting ones again, I've noticed.
Some live bred. I know there's some fascinating stuff coming out of Japan.
Yeah.
They've
Well,
been
there's
doing selective breeding that's kind of extraordinary.
I can't remember the name of the fella over there, but he invented or created the lyre tail
Threadfin.
blue. Yeah, the red and then he did the blue Endler guppy cross that's really popular too, with the little. It's got yellow fin accents and then a blue body.
Oh yeah.
But and then he also worked on the panda guppies too that were so popular the last couple of years. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Watching that stuff come out, the bettas and the discus all kind of were developed in the same time frame, and they all came out of morphs. Both of them came out of an oddball morph.
Yeah.
I think the fish I found, if that was around 1997, 98,
Yeah.
which was almost 10 years before the morphs really hit. It was a very early one, and it was never spread out. There was never any effort made to breed that fish out. That could have started that strain 10 years earlier. If I had
Yeah.
kept it, one never knows. Ah, funny stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like the flower horn too. I remember that when that was
Oh,
a
yeah.
new fish.
I talked to the guys who developed that. I got
Oh,
on.
really?
I did. I was talking with, and it happened on Aquabid. I wound up in conversation with a couple of young guys from Indonesia who had developed the flower horn for the Chinese market
Yeah.
because it had what looked like Chinese hieroglyphics on it. And
Yes.
they bought a big box of Central American cichlids from me, like 10 different species that I shipped to them. It took 5 days to get it to them. And I think they all survived. But that was really remarkable. And they were talking about how they did. I remember at the time when I got an early pair of flower horns. It was like 1998, 99, 2000, somewhere
Wow.
along there. I got a pair of flower horns and I spawned them. And I
Wow.
called up, I knew Andres at the time, Andres Ryan. And I called him up and I said, Andres, these flower horns I got in spawn. And he said, oh, they'll never hatch. They're mules. They're not viable. Nothing will ever happen. 2 days later, I called him back and I said, Andres, I have wigglers. They had hatched. And it was really interesting because I grew out about 30 of them in a 29-gallon tank. And when they hit about 3 inches, they started pairing off.
Oh,
And
wow. That's young.
they were spawning in the tank with all the others. And I pulled them out, pulled the eggs, sold the pair. That happened 2 or 3 times. I got 2 or 3 pairs out of that one batch and a lot of babies.
Wow.
That was like early 2000s.
So I have a situation that I'm curious if you've ever seen, Father Fish. I have an aquarium right now with a male angelfish that's about 3 or 4 years old now. His name's Sergio. He's real big. He's 8 inches tall. But
Wow.
he has 3 females, and he rotates through whenever they're gravid. But if I don't steal the babies away, they'll eat the babies, either the mom or him. So I mean, he's probably gone through. I mean, it's been about 6 months of him doing this now, and it was an accident. I had him and another male and 3 females in there trying to pair things off, and he beat the other male up so bad that I took him out. But now I've got 3 females in there, and they fight amongst each other a little bit. Nothing, they don't even pull it like scales off. But now every week and a half to 2 weeks, he'll spawn with one of them, and I've just never seen that before. I was just curious if you've seen a male with multiple females, like, a harem, so to speak.
I have with bettas. I've had
Uh-huh.
that happen with bettas.
Yeah. Just kind of
Um,
unusual. I've never seen it with angelfish personally. I've seen it with cribs.
I have a friend who does a lot of angels. I'll have to ask him about it. It seems to me I've heard of it. I don't know that I've done it, but I've heard of it happening. Um, in fact, it seems to me that he was talking to me. This is Chuck fellow who does angels here. He's a retired marine biologist who's been doing angels about all his life. All of my angels are his.
Okay.
I
When
just
people
got
get into angels, they get into angels.
been doing.
Uh-oh. Am I frozen? Are you frozen? Are we frozen? Let's see what the chat has to say. Am I the only one? Can anybody hear me in the chat? Do, 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 do. David says he has angels that have done that as well. Very cool. So I'm the only one in the show right now? Okay. Well, hopefully Father Fish comes back soon, guys. Let's see here. You know, I went down to Florida and I stupid floodlight. I'm coming outside because my wife's sleeping and she gets up for work in a minute. But the came down to Florida and it was really interesting to see all the invasive species down there. Man, it was crazy. We went to Silver Springs and we're able. Oh, here comes Father Fish.
Yeah, my internet dropped off. My
Oh,
wireless.
I understand. I started talking about. I was like, I hope he comes back soon. But I started talking about. I went to Silver Springs up near Ocala, in Florida, and I was swimming and snorkeling there, looking for Rotala Rosenvig, Florida.
Yes.
And then I was looking for Ludwigia repens, a red and purple cultivar or variety there. But I ended up finding, well, an alligator. But I ended up finding about 300 or 400 plecos, rubber plecos, rubber lips. And I mean, they were like almost 2 feet long or a foot and a half long.
Right.
And they just are spawning everywhere up there.
Yeah.
And so I was just amazed that, you know, nobody's tried to go catch them out of there. Maybe they have, I don't know. But when I was talking to...
I'll tell you the story about that when you're through. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I talked to the park, one of the park ranger guys that had worked there for like 40 years. And he was retired and he was back just to give little lectures for, you know, like once or twice a week. And he was saying that they've found over 200 species in the park of fish that are from the pet trade. And after Hurricane Andrew, in particular, all over Florida, they found like just hundreds of fish all over the place. And there's just odd pockets of, you know, cichlids and things like that in certain areas. So that always fascinates me. I always want to come down there and go fishing for, you know, some of the peacock bass and some of the other stuff down there and just see what's out there.
It's amazing. It's an amazing amount of stuff. It's an interesting story about the Lacostomus. Back in the 50s and early 60s, one of the really popular fish was the Plecostomus. Now, this was the common Plecostomus.
Yes.
The one that gets 2 foot long. Yeah. They were catching them in South America and bringing them up. A couple of guys on a fish farm had been growing them out in their ponds, and they realized that they could survive in Florida. So they started getting large shipments of them in and traveling all over Southwest Florida releasing them.
Oh, jeez.
That was in the early 60s. Any number of species. There was some research done over the last few years doing a species, determining the species. And they determined that there are at least 6 different species that have merged and blended together in all these big guys. But now, the reason they did this is because they wanted to be able to harvest them locally. And that's what's happening. In this
it is.
late spring and early summer, from about April, May until July, August, there's a whole group of people who go out into the canals. The canals.
Yeah.
These are the canals that did not exist before the Army Corps of Engineers decided to drain the Everglades.
Right, and connect to everything.
They built canals to do that. That's where all the land south of Tampa and inland 10 miles came from. It was all Everglades. It's now all farmland. Anyway, full of canals. They go into the canals. These plecostomus get up a foot or two below the water level, and they dig into the bank of the canal. They dig in about 2 feet.
Yeah.
About 2 feet deep, and they'll lay a mass of eggs that's about the size of a grapefruit.
Oh, man.
Looks a lot like a grapefruit. It's hard. It's solid eggs. They reach up in there with their arms and feel the fish, root around them and feel the egg mass, pull the egg mass out. They collect maybe 100 of them a day, take them to the farmers. The farmers pay $5 an egg mass.
Wow.
They hatch them out in their tanks, in their vats. As soon as they hatch, they take them out and throw them into ponds. Within 1 month, they start harvesting them out of the ponds and market them. That's where they come from. Betsy.
The gentleman would like to know how much for the dragonfish.
Wow.
50.
What a mess.
Yeah, so as a result, they're never that's what that did was that slowed down the import of other types of plecos for probably 20 years.
Yeah, I wish they could have imported and done that with like leopard frogs or zebras.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not hot enough, but
well, they're too rare, I think. These were pretty common. And of course, they sell for, the farmer sells them for 10 cents.
Yeah.
A little 1-inch fish will sell 10 for $1.
Yeah.
100 for $10, 1,000 for $100.
What was kind of cool, and it's been enough time that I don't feel bad talking about it, because they already got written up for it. But when I went down and explored. Oh, when I went down and explored Seagrass Farms.
Yes.
And met with them. They gave me a tour, yada, yada. So behind their main facility, there's just some fields and some creeks and canals.
Right.
So I went back there just to see what was in the water. And in about 2 hours, I found about 30 species of fish. And I guess the state wrote them up for it. Like there's so many fish everywhere in the Tampa area, but I just found it kind of cool, honestly. Now that the cat's out of the bag and it's like, what are you going to do about it? It's just kind of cool to see the diversity now.
Oh, it's true. Anywhere there are fish farms, you can go in local ditches and get platies, mollies, guppies, swords, any of the live bears.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised to see tetras. That's what I was gonna say. That one surprised me. I saw a lot of the glow light tetras.
Yes. Yeah, there are a lot of tetras that are really Central American. They can tolerate cooler water.
Ah, that makes sense then. The fish I wish we could have so badly are snakeheads, the ornamental
Oh, I
snakeheads.
know. I
They're
know.
so pretty.
They are, and they're tiny fish. Some of them only get 6 inches long. They
I know.
could not possibly be a problem. It
No,
just,
a gar would eat those for breakfast.
yeah. The problem really is that so much of local fisheries do not research invasive species enough to know what they really are. And there's
Mm-hmm.
no linkage, there's no effective linkage between the trade and the appropriate government offices. So, the fisheries departments in local states, even in the federal government, they don't know what's going on in the trade. We've been working on that for about 20 years. I've got some customers here. You want to carry on a minute? I
Yeah,
think
sure.
I've got a tarantula sold.
Oh, cool.
That'll
Is
make
it
me
a
happy.
is it a rose hair or something? What is it?
It's a redfoot. It's a
Ah,
redfoot.
okay.
Yep. Oh,
All right. Let's see what's going on in the chat, guys.
hi.
Hold on one sec. I have to clear my throat. I know I shouldn't be smoking because I'm a dum dum, but at the same time, the cough is from my rib pushing on my lung. Where can I see you? My videos, Manoj. I have a channel called The Secret History Living in Your Aquarium. It's the shortest channel name out there. And
Okay.
yeah, someone will post the link, I bet. I bet Aquarium Cop will. Mary's asking. John, you miss living in Washington? Yeah, I do too. I mean, today's kind of a gray morning. The sun just came up and it is foggy and about 50 degrees. My outdoor fish might need to come in a little early this year, actually. But believe it or not, I've actually kept neocaradinas out here in my ponds or in my aquariums for the whole winter, and they'll bury themselves in the mud.
Wow.
And surprisingly, neocaridina, the cherry ones, the other colors seem to die, but the cherry ones are hardy and diverse enough that at least I have a line that'll survive out here. Same with my Malawa shrimp too. Did you sell the tarantula?
I did.
Good.
Guy said I wanted $25 for it, plus $5 for the cage. The cage was cracked. It was a little critter keeper. He said I got $100 bill and I got 25 in cash. Well, I didn't have any change, so I went to the bank this morning. So I took the 25 in cash.
Ah.
And Betsy's happy because the tarantula's gone.
Yeah. Well, that gives some people the heebie-jeebies.
I know. Well, and I've got my newest employee, Thomas, who some of you met the other day.
He was on the stream the other morning, right?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a really interesting guy. I'm real excited about him.
Yeah.
He's scared to death of bugs.
And he lives in Florida?
Imagine that. So I didn't even want him to see the spider.
He should come to Washington. There's no bugs here hardly. I mean, there's mosquitoes,
Right.
but
Funny.
But I mean, nothing compared to there. All your love bugs and
This is a
June
guy.
bugs. And,
He's a big game hunter. Really?
just not a little game hunter.
I guess. Well, he said many years ago he was keeping some kind of reptile, beardies, I guess, feeding him
Yeah.
crickets. And somehow, while he was sleeping alongside the cage, the cricket keeper got knocked over, and he
Oh.
woke up, and his body was covered in crickets. And I guess it traumatized him.
I guess. I mean, that's kind of funny though.
It really.
I would have let my geckos out.
What kind do you have?
Oh, I don't have any right now, but I used to have the tokay geckos. I had a couple of those.
Oh, they're a mean sucker. I like
Yeah. Yeah, they're fun to watch.
beautiful. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
big, they're pretty. They
Mhm.
make the strangest call.
Oh, I know. The other thing, so for a while I had sugar gliders too.
Oh yeah, I've had those.
And between the two of those things making noises at night, my neighbors thought like I was, they didn't know what I was up to.
It's a very strange noise. It sounds
Yeah.
vaguely sexual.
Yeah, it does. It does. And the sugar gliders for exercise, I had this they had a big cage that I built them like out of wood and then chicken wire kind of stuff. But they would do these backflips over and over and over, and it would rock the cage at a rhythm. So it sounded like a bed rocking back and forth on top of everything
And with the
else.
gecko going, that
Yeah.
would do it, wouldn't it? R-E!
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The other thing I saw when I was down there near you guys was the tegu lizards. Those things are so fast. Those are interesting.
You bet.
They said that they those, and then what else did they find when it was a year ago that I was last down there, or 2 years ago, but they were predicting that the tegus, and then there was a certain kind of monitor lizard that has gotten out, and it's in St. Pete. It's in Pinellas County.
Yeah.
But they caught like they caught a 3-foot long one.
Yeah, they're developing new regs right now. I just got a notification they're taking comments on some new reptile regs in Florida to control some of the, here's the problem. They do this all the time after the horse is out of the barn.
Yeah, of course.
A good example is the red ear slider. The red ear slider is a Mississippi native. It has been in Florida for 50 years and is so prolific that as one of the most popular turtles in the trade, it has been collected and sold in Florida for 25 years. Now they've made it illegal to possess and sell the red ear slider.
Really?
Because it's not a Florida native. It's an invasive species. As a result, the red ear slider is now dominating the turtle population in Florida. There was pressure on it because they were taken out of the wild. Now they can't be taken out of the wild. Now they're in effect protected. By making it illegal to possess them, they've really protected them. They haven't done anything to control the population. And yet that was the purpose of the law, to control the population. Well, the population is already here, guys, and it's already overblown. Weird stuff. But that's the kind of thing that happens.
Well, yeah, it's like Hawaii, where they thought that there were snakes, so they brought in the mongoose, and then it turned out there were no native snakes. There were just a couple on one ship in Honolulu that they found.
Yeah.
So now they have mongoose everywhere. So then they brought in cats to try to get the mongoose. Well, the mongoose are nocturnal, so they have different hunting patterns and things than cats, and they can beat up a cat. So it's just now they've got all sorts of animals running around.
Yeah, Australia does the same thing. They've
the cane toads.
Yeah, the cane toads, right? Which is a desperately dangerous animal.
It is. Plus, it can kill your pets too.
Right. Yeah, they are toxic. You ever the other one is the Cuban tree frog.
Yeah.
It has taken over Southwest Florida. They're no
Same with.
longer You can no longer find green tree frogs in
That's
Southwest
sad.
Florida. They're further north. The same thing with the
The
Cuban
Knolls.
yeah,
Yeah.
the brown anole. You can no longer find the green anoles.
I
And
know. I noticed. I noticed that just.
yeah,
Yeah, just from my childhood. Sorry, there's a
right.
delay. I keep talking over you.
Ah, yeah, they're further north. You can go further north and find them because
Yeah.
humans have not been able to adapt yet to that cooler weather, just 100 miles north. But they will
Yeah.
in time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think when I was in Ocala, I saw that's where I saw green ones and brown ones together.
Yeah, right.
So I
Yeah,
think there's a place called like Frost Line maybe or Frost something.
could be. I don't know.
But it's in any case it's in the winter. It's usually where the farthest south that it'll freeze solid, and that's
Right.
kind of where they stop. Well,
You
thank you for letting me join you.
bet, Alex. We're going to put
I'm
the
gonna
music on.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off. You guys have a good day. Good to
Take care.
see everybody.
Bye
Take
bye,
care.
Alex. Hello. Hello. No, whatever that was, it's gone. All right, guys. We are at the witching hour. Lee, it's time for your announcement. Actually, I think you did it. It was the video, wasn't it? And I'm real excited to go watch that. So I'm going to do that pretty quick here. We've totally lost track of the chat. It was so fun having Alex on and chatting with him. Hope you all enjoyed that. I know you've had a great time on the chat. Let's see if we can find a little music to play us off. Well, I tell you what, here we go. Let's do this. Bye, all. Bye bye. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow morning. Bye for now. Bye, guys. Have a lovely day. Just looking at some ending comments here. Minaj is with us. Hi, Minaj. Yes, the stream is still live. I'm gonna play us off with Lee. Let me get it. See if I can find it. I may not be able to easily. Let's see. It's fun having Alex on. Here we go.
Hello, Mary. Mary, try and sort this one out. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish.
I will call you Mary.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Instrumental break. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Yeah.
I think that one will do.
Thank you all. I worked out the signs for this. We'll do it in sign language next time. Bye, all. Love you all. Take care. Have a lovely day. See you in the morning.